It's a dreary Saturday in Charleston, but a historic one last time from MUSC Health Stadium, the season finale of the USL Championship regular season, and the Battery's postseason dreams hang in the balance. Hey everyone, we welcome you up to the broadcast booth. Absolutely thrilled to have you join us for this afternoon's game. And Derek, we knew it could possibly come down to the last game of the season. It's simple for the Battery. They win and they're in, but Bethlehem still looking to play spoiler. And there's one player in particular that we want to keep our eye on, and it's the Cameroonian forward, Faris.
Yeah, Faris had a great first season, isn't he, with the club, and he's scored lots of goals, and he's come off a goal last week, which always gives the player confidence. He's a player tonight that if he's on song, the home team are really going to have to watch out for.
10 goals on the season so far, like you mentioned, the most recent against Ottawa Fury last weekend. Taylor Mueller will have his work cut out on the back line. At the other end of the park, for Mike Hanhauser, he's been phenomenal. For club and country, it's Zico Lewis.
Yeah, what else can we say about this young man in his first season here with the Battery? He's been outstanding. He's scored goals, he creates goals, and he really is a mainstay in his team, and he's taken his country form into his club form, which is fantastic for the home fans.
7 goals on the season so far. He will be looking to add to that tally here this afternoon. Absolutely instrumental all over the park. Well, let's check in with head coach Mike Hanhauser to get his thoughts ahead of this afternoon's match.
We have to carry the emotion in from the way we played. We played well. We were organized, we were compact, we created chances, and we scored 2 great goals. And that's what we have to compartmentalize a little bit and make sure that the players keep that focus on that. It's going to be tough because they're a young team, and it's an MLS team, and they might bring a couple of young guys they just want to get some minutes for, and that could be good for you because they could be some of your younger players.
This afternoon's match, an absolute massive one on the line. It's Poppy Miller alongside Derek Brawley. We are just about ready to go here from Charleston, South Carolina. But first, let's take a look at tonight's starting lineups for Brendan Burke's side. A starting 11, as predicted, Derek, very young, a teenage back line. Matt Freese gets the starting goal. Who else stands out to you there?
I think Chambers is going to be a big player for him, isn't he? Him and Zandy in the middle, you know, they're going to give a little. Chambers gives them the experience, but again, there's youth all over this field, and they're going to find it very difficult against the more senior side. And as I said, with they're trying to play with a diamond in midfield, and Borgelin up front. Obviously, he's going to be a threat. Young lad who's really trying to make a way in the game.
The oldest member of the back line, Feimu, just 19 years old. For Mike Anhauser's side, he's got a more veteran back line with Van Schaik and captain Taylor Mueller at the back. And Atula Guerra makes his way back into the lineup after being on international duty.
Yeah, I think the important players there are going to be Higashi and Rittmeyer. If they can get width and supply these two going forward. And obviously Bosch was coming off a couple of really good games as well. But to me, the player we've got to look for all the time is Zico Lewis. Can he create things? He had a man of the match performance on Wednesday night, and they'll be looking for him to have that again today.
Zico Lewis was the difference. Taylor Mueller also to open the scoring midweek against Loudoun United. But it all comes down to today. It is decision day in the USL Championship. And at the minute, the Charleston Battery sitting in 10th place with 43 points. Birmingham Legion also on 43 points. They have a big match as well tonight against the top of the Eastern Conference, Pittsburgh Riverhounds, at 5:30 p.m. All eyes will be on that game, but it's simple. If Mike Anhauser's boys in black and yellow get the win, then they're in. And we're away from MUSC Health Stadium. And the Battery will be looking for a quick start like they got off to midweek. Into the box it goes. Back, Angelo Kelly to recycle.
I don't think we can discount the conditions today.
Good ball into the box. Bosch was there. Couldn't quite get over it. Over the top of the bar it goes. Arthur Boschua racked up the minutes as of late. Had a fantastic midweek game up top with the youngster Naku Daly. It'll be interesting to see how he pairs with Guerra tonight.
No, and I think today, you know, that's a big partnership for sure. And I think, you know, Naku Daly coming off the bench is probably just a bigger threat later on. But he's playing against boys of his own age this time. So, you know, there's a very young Bethlehem Steel team. And I think the conditions are going to play a large part in this. You know, you'd like to think the experienced players really can handle these conditions a lot better. But we'll see as the game goes forward.
One thing you talk about, your boot choice is absolutely instrumental on this slick surface here. Of course, the game being brought forward due to a big storm that is heading our way here this afternoon. So something for all these players to adapt to, playing 5 hours earlier than originally expected.
No, and that's, again, you don't know who that favours. Does it favour the travelling team because they get brought forward, or does it, you know, does it favour the home team because you're in your familiar surroundings? So now, as I said, there's lots of variables right now. We'll see how the game does. The field is held up fantastically well. I walked on it before the game. It's very firm. It's very wet, very slick, but it's very firm still. And I think the referee's now just making sure that everyone's safe. Their boots are all tied up, and then we can look to move on. But this is a thriller, isn't it, this one? As I said, the youthfulness of Bethlehem Steel versus the more experienced Charleston Battery senior squad.
One of the youngsters, Nathan Harriel, to get us back underway, just 18 years old, a Philadelphia Union product. And here's the speed that we mentioned. Galina looking for the early darting run. Nicely done out the back. Jared Van Schaik, really a veteran leader, has been instrumental this season in the Battery's success, played all over the park in a numerous amount of positions.
I think for the Battery it's very, very important that they get off to a good, solid start. You know, you really do feel if they could get a goal early, they could really go on and win this game and, you know, and seal their spot in the playoffs. And I'm sure that's what they'll be aiming to do. But the longer you leave these youthful kids in here, the more they'll think they can get a result from the game. And they will be up for this game, these kids. As I said, they're looking for their next stage in their career. A good performance today could get them seen by their more senior side, the Philadelphia Union.
They've had some bright spells so far this season. The past 5 games hasn't been one of them, though. 4 losses, just 1 draw in the past 5. They'll be looking to turn the tide to end the season. Brendan Burke, head coach, saying earlier this week they've got absolutely nothing to lose. These players are playing for MLS contracts and they're going to go out and throw the kitchen sink at it. I think that was nicely put. Here comes Atula Guerra, goes out wide to Patterson. Ground ball across the box. Nice bit of trickery from Feimu. Patterson just returned from the Grenada national team. Nobody home at the back post. Well, we mentioned what this game has on the line. Birmingham Legion, of course, playing the top of the table. Pittsburgh this afternoon. St. Louis, who are sitting in 11th place in the Eastern Conference, just 1 point behind Birmingham, and the Battery will play North Carolina FC tonight at 7 p.m. Just so tight for 3 teams, only 2 positions, and they've got some top Eastern Conference matchups. And both North Carolina FC and, of course, the Riverhounds will be wanting to take all 3 points to help their seeding in the playoff push.
As we say all the time, there's no easy games in this league, and on any given day, any team can beat any other team. It's those that can put a run together that can gain the success. And as I said, if the Battery can get this win today, win 2 of the last 2 at home, that will stand them in good stead to go into the playoffs for sure.
It's been a busy week for the Battery. They, of course, took a 2-0 win from Memphis 901 on Wednesday night. And a makeup game that had already been postponed twice prior to that. Here is James Chambers. Galina runs into a bit of traffic, finds the greenery going back. Turner. Sandy just dropping back into the mix. He'll sit just in front of the back four. The Pennsylvania native, Villanova product. Ariel up to Borgelin. Here comes Atula Guerra. He's got Higashi with him. Takes the option.
Come on, 60! Start running!
And of course, for the Battery, no Tar Bryan and under in the middle. Zico Lewis sitting in more of a holding role compared to what we're used to seeing him in Derek.
No, for sure, yeah. I think he, as I said, he's a big player tonight.
Good ball in. Ground ball from Nelson. A brilliantly placed one.
Guerra should have been there, shouldn't he? As I said, he's had a bit of a, he's came back in. He was like the hero coming back into the side gear, and he's had a bit of a stop-start season. He's had a little, couple of red cards here and there, which hasn't helped. But tonight, as I said, there's no doubt he's a big player, and if he can get what he's used to doing, getting goals, that'll be a good thing for the Battery.
Atula Guerra, the leading goal scorer from last season, who had 15 goals on the year. Didn't rejoin the team until mid-season, just like you said. Struggled to really get his flow going. Only 2 goals this year, looking to add to that here tonight. Patterson takes the strike. It's a dangerous one and patted away from Fries.
His foot just gave way a little bit as he hit the ball. That's the conditions that are going to play a huge part today. And as I said, I'm sure we'll get more rain as the game goes on, but that was a great hit by Patterson and a very good save.
We'll have another look at it here. You can see it's missed. Guerra.
Sometimes when you've got nothing to play for, you can play a lot freer. I think these young kids are not at that stage yet for Bethlehem, because, as I said, they're always playing for the next level. But, the pressure certainly is on the Battery, and if they can get an early goal, that will really help them and get them to settle down and play into this game.
Safety in numbers from the visitors. Patient from Mike Hanhauser's team.
Territorially, they've definitely got, they've had a good start, and they've pinned this young Bethlehem Steel team in. Just need a goal to make sure that solidifies it.
For the Battery, they've been phenomenal on home soil yet again this year. Only 3 losses, one of them coming last weekend against Loudoun United. Here's Patterson, edge of the box. Across it goes Atula Guerra. Couldn't get the strike away. Cam Boshua. This is the tips off Fries.
That was a good play again for the big guy, wasn't it? The way he actually got his shot off there, he went into the box. Here he goes. Great play by Patterson. Guerra does very well. He's trying to get a shot off. He just falls to Boshua. He turns, swivels and hits, and that's an unlucky. It's a great save, to be fair.
Galina forced out wide. Combines with Sandy. Sprays one to Cortez. Good build-up from the visitors. Lofty ball. Nothing to come of it. No worry for Joe Kuzminski. He makes his 32nd start in goal here tonight. Leads the team in minutes played. 7 clean sheets on the season so far, one of which came on Wednesday night against Memphis 901.
Sometimes stats don't always tell the true picture of the season. Last year he had a lot more clean sheets, but this year he's certainly become more accomplished, and he's certainly, you know, a main fixture in this team, and his performances have been very, very steady throughout the year.
Kyle Nelson, the rookie from Wofford College. Patterson assessing his options. Come back in superb form from his Grenada international duties. Kelly.
He's another one like Lewis who's really benefited from his international experience, isn't he?
It's a great cut in from Rittmeyer, looking for Guerra. And James Chambers with the recovery run to punch it out. This could be an opportunity here. Zico Lewis over the dead ball. Phenomenal, like we saw in the pre-game with these corner kicks.
I mean, that's where they got one of the goals from. It was the same end the other on Wednesday night. But his delivery's so good in with these conditions now. If he can fizz one in now, anyone that can direct it towards the goal, attacker, defender, whatever, is going to cause problems for frees.
Right. On the height, Boschua, Taylor Mueller, Atula Guerra, and Nelson in the mix. It's headed on again by Mueller. Same idea.
It was almost a replica of Wednesday night there, wasn't it? It was a great delivery in. Tell him he probably got there just a shade too early. You'll see this now that he's just there a little bit too early, and he's just trying to direct. It's too hard to direct it onto the target. But something they've worked on, and you'll probably see that again, especially tonight with as I said, with these conditions.
Freeze. Ready to go out of the back. It's been a revolving door for goalkeepers in Bethlehem Steel so far this season. He's just one of 4 that have played, making his 8th start tonight. 1 clean sheet on the year. And always difficult to gain a bit of consistency in an ever-rotating squad. James Chambers being the real only mainstay on this side.
No, and he's only in there just to teach the kids, isn't he? He's the on-field coach, isn't he? Yeah, he's the on-field coach. So, but no, I think that, you know, both Brendan and Stephen Hogan, like, they have a really tough job. You know, they get told who to play. But what they do have to do is manage games and manage training sessions. And you know, it's probably one of the hardest jobs in the world. But they understand it. They understand the pitfalls of it. They're there to develop players for that next level. And to have a settled side is very, very difficult. And I'm sure they're not judged on their results. They're judged on how many kids they can get through. Slightly different to many of the other teams in this league that are purely focused on playoff spots and results.
And especially for a Philadelphia Union side that has done so well in MLS this season. They've got their playoff game tomorrow against Red Bulls. So that takes out any options as well. Of course, the MLS affiliate wants every possible person they can think they might need on their roster, limiting these opportunities.
No, for sure. And as I said, it's two different philosophies. It's okay to have both. And as I said, you can see their results. They're competitive in most games, aren't they? So it's not like they're letting the league down or anything right now.
Good win from Mueller. Joshua handled at the back. He'll win the free kick. And of course, Zico Lewis. It's got to be over this one.
Van Shake territory as well. Here we go. Yeah, look, he's all over him there. Look, he's pulling him. You can see him pulling his arm down, and that's the referee's got that right, and he's in a great position, the referee, to see that.
You're absolutely right. Van Shake comes in, joins the mix. Guerra's there as well.
Again, I think it's a right footer's one from this sort of distance, from this side of the goal. And certainly you want players following in, don't you? You certainly want players following in, because the ball's going to bounce out the goalkeeper's hand. It's going to be very hard to secure it. So all follow-up nows are going to be vital. Now only 2 players in the wall, so it's going to be Van Schaik now. He's just going to put it to the back post.
Nelson with the head. Nothing to come of it. A good ball in. You could just see the leadership from James Chambers there we were talking about. Directing the wall and the back line. We'll have another look at it here. Love to go short out of the back. Here's Harriel. Feimu. A dangerous one, Boshua. Looking for that step, and it almost paid off for him. Arthur Boshua.
There's your inexperience right there, isn't it? The young player there just turn and just give, look, what's he thinking here? He just turns around, not even looking, look. Goalkeeper's done fantastically well there.
Brilliantly read by the South African forward. Now Higashi with the strike. You said just such a slick surface out there. Difficult to judge your weight of your pass.
Brendan Burke had his heart in his mouth there when, when I looked down and saw him. It was like, what on earth just happened? One there by Patterson.
Now a chance at the other end of the park. This could be dangerous. Galina looking to cut inside the box. Michi Galina, someone who you don't want to be a one-on-one foot race with.
I think from the last couple of games we watched the Battery, when they've been exposed to a counter-attack, they have been very much in bother. And I think there was a little example there. Lucky enough, Gerard Van Schaik saw the danger and made an early run back. But counter-attacking football does cause these more senior players a problem, and I'm sure that's how Brendan Burke would love his team to play. A renowned goal scorer, still holds the record for most goals scored in a rookie season. Just 7 on the year, but like we mentioned, that ever-rotating door. Opts for the short. Cortez with the delivery away by Patterson. Chambers to recycle. Zandy. Finds some space on the outside, looking for the 1-2. Kelly's there, Van Schaik. It's chaos at the top of the box. And now maybe a chance for a counter-attack down the other end. Higashi into Boshua, lays it off for Zico Lewis. Zico Lewis still at the top of the box. Atula Guerra with the strike. And a good recovery run from Feimu at the back. That was a good play all round there by the Battery, wasn't it? Some really good interchange in play. Nice swift counter-attack. And they were very unfortunate.
See that surface playing a role. Players look like they're on skates down there.
It's great for these young players that want to run with the ball and get at people. As I said, if you're Higashi, Zico, Lewis, Guerra, and you want to start getting at people, it's a great surface, isn't it? If you're a defender, not so good.
Ariel.
Is the winner.
Another giveaway. Atula Guerra picks it up this time. Lewis drops it back. Here's the Japanese veteran, sprays one out wide, couldn't complete it. This is what you were saying, Derek. You throw numbers forward, but it opens you up at the back. Space down the flank.
And they've definitely got pace, haven't they, up front? So it's got to be something that the Battery have got to be careful of. It's great when you get a quick turnover, and if you can exploit them early, that's great. You've got to be very, very much into your recovery runs and your shape.
Quickly taken. Nice textured ball over the top. Kyle Nelson just shields it out of bounds.
The game's nearly 20 minutes in, and I think what we've seen is what we're going to get from most of the game here. You're going to see the Battery just prod in and trying to find ways in, and until a breakthrough comes in, that's what we're going to see, and then you'll see that this young Bethlehem Steel team are going to try and play counter-attacking football where they can and exploit their their speed onto the sort of aging back line of the battery.
Higashi not too much luck with aerial duels. It's 5'4". Joshua can bring it down. Nicely controlled. Here's Kelly. Rittmeyer invites Nelson into the attack. A big lofting ball to the back post. Higashi picks up the scraps. It's a nutmeg in the box. Kotaro Higashi looking for the ground ball. Always gets the fans up off their seats. Nice bit of trickery from Higashi there.
Yeah, and I think it actually surprised him that he actually got through and it wriggled through to him. If we get to see it again, he just, as I said, he wriggled through. Here we go, look, he actually surprised him. Look, it was sort of like, oops, and then it got through. So it wasn't something I think he was planned, and then he was struggling once he done it.
Joshua for Nelson. Nelson fancies his chances. Sometimes that's just what a defender's shot on target looks like coming up from the back.
A little bit half poppy, but there's reasons why they are defenders. Yeah. I'm sure he'd like to have that one back.
Saying that, Kyle Nelson led Wofford in goals scored his junior season, so he is no stranger to finding the back of the net.
Must have been from inside the 6-yard box.
Ariel. Chambers in the middle, sliding in. A dangerous one on Angelo Kelly. James Chambers going to be shown yellow in the 20th minute.
That is a shocking tackle, that is. Look, you can see he's gone in, he's followed through. To be fair to him, I'll take that back. He did try and pull out, and I think it was just the conditions that took him through. I think the referee's got that right. It's always nice to see a second take on something. It's one of those tackles that in these conditions you're going to see regularly, but he did actually pull out. He definitely didn't try and hurt him there. Fair play to him.
James Chambers, the Irishman, 32 years old, leads this team. The captain of the side, 5 goals, 3 assists on the season so far. Scored his first 3 goals of the season in back-to-back games to surpass the club's previous leading goal scorer, Corey Burke. Kelly looks to be up and okay. Fan Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the finest leagues around the world. Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. For the latest Select products and special offers, visit www.selectsportamerica.com. Ariel launches one out. Higashi picks up his second touch. Here's the Trinidad and Tobago international. Just returned from international duty not too long ago. Lewis into the box. It's Boshua. A fantastic finish from the striker. 2 goals in 2 games for Arthur Boshua.
And that's a great ball in again. Zico Lewis is the creator. And it was good players. Now, I don't know how far the highlights will go back here, but, you know, it was good play by Guerra, who got the ball into his feet, set it up for Zico Lewis. Here we go, look. Higashi just plays a nice little ball in, but that's a nice little measured pass. Great run by Boshua. And that's a very, very tidy finish there with his right foot, letting it come across his body. And that's the start that really the Charleston battery wanted, isn't it?
Arthur Boshua on phenomenal form as of late.
That's 2 goals in a week for him now, isn't it?
2 goals in 1 week for Arthur Boshua. Scored against Loudoun United on Sunday. And he opens the scoring again here this afternoon.
It's another good assist there by Zico Lewis, isn't it? You know, he's having a great season, as we spoke about. You know, he scores goals and he does certainly create goals. He's got a wand of a left foot.
How can they keep the visitors out? A dangerous one. Kosminski gets something on it. Looks like just enough.
Tends to happen, doesn't it? A goal and players tend to switch off. It's that first couple of minutes after the after a goal is scored, and you've got to make sure that you bang on it with your setup and your defending and your shape. And this is what they need Taylor Mueller to really get hold of this team and secure it now. And then get back to what you were doing that got you into this place in the first place.
Ariel looking to go down the line. Marshallin begging for it, nothing to come to fruition. A big switch.
It's a loose one by Nelson now.
Chambers. Work from Higashi to find Patterson in space.
Play by Patterson, reverse pass there to Boshua.
Boshua looking for numbers in the box. It's Atula Guerra, takes one touch, takes another, trying to find a bit of greenery, and just runs out of room.
I think, to be fair there, Patterson running behind him, he really needed a supporting run there, Guerra, did he? He does well with his back to goal, he just needs someone supporting him there. But this is always dangerous now, this breakaway.
Misic. Middle again. James Chambers really the orchestrator in the middle of the park. Galina. Trying to cut inside, one-on-one with Patterson. Patterson opts for safety.
It's good defending there, isn't he? He stopped the cross, he had his arms behind his back, he wasn't going to let anyone get through there. That's good, solid defending by Patterson. It's been a good start from the battery, isn't it? You know, they got their goal they needed. I'm sure the next goal now is going to be crucial in this game. I mean, goals are always crucial, but if the battery can get another goal up, interesting to see what the
dangerous to the top.
Interesting to see what the temperament's like of these young players.
Guerra puts it back. Boshua's there. Lewis joins in. Boshua fancies number 2. Zico Lewis. With the Moodin International leaves it for Angelo Kelly, and a late challenge to just come in there. And Angelo Kelly into the books in the 26th.
Yeah, and I think Zico Lewis, I mean, we'll see the foul, I'm sure we'll see the breakaway again, but I think Zico Lewis, if he had it again, he'd probably just pull the trigger there. He just was a little bit too secure there. That's referee's got that one right. That's definitely a yellow card. It's a late challenge. Again, referee's got it right.
He's now just sitting on that back line. Feimu. Ball, Mueller can deal at the back.
Loose one by Patterson. Just need to retain the ball a little bit better now, the battery.
Mention of Feimu being one of the first direct signing from the Philadelphia Union residency program. Pathway to the pro that we talk about, like setting up here in Charleston with the new youth academy, Derek, that you head up.
No, I think, as I said, I say every week that everyone wants a homegrown player, and it takes time. But the Union have been doing it for a while. I was very fortunate enough to work at Reading Rage, which is now Reading United, which is their feeder program. So that sort of feeds Bethlehem still, then feeds the Union. So they've got a true pathway to the pros there, and they've got a couple of youth clubs that work underneath that as well. Plus you've got the Philadelphia Union Academy. So they've got, you know, in that area of the world, they've got lots of opportunities, but there's lots of competition. You've got the Red Bulls and New York City. So there's, you know, for the tri-state area, it's very, very difficult to secure players. Down here in Charleston, it's a little bit easier, and as I said, as we start to widen our net, you know, the quality will get better, and more kids hopefully will get that chance.
Brendan Burke, of course, somebody that you know well.
Both him and Hoagie both played for me, so that was at Reading. So that, you know, that's nice to see them progressing their career in the coaching ranks and giving something back.
They move back to Chambers.
He does a really good job, Chambers, for him, doesn't he? He gets a lot of the ball, he just gets it, he keeps it simple, and all he's trying to do is feed these players with the ball. He does it fantastically well. He's all over the park.
Very Joe Cole-esque, how you saw him sit in with the young Tampa Bay Rowdy squad. He made his way over to the States.
I think he just plays with experience, doesn't he? He doesn't, you know, he doesn't have to run a million miles. He just gets it. He finds himself in little spaces.
Across the pocket it goes. It's dangerous. A real opportunity for the visitors goes begging.
And that's really what they have, isn't it? They've got this, you know, when they do get it right and they do their little passing combinations, which they've done there, lots of little one-touch and two-touch passes. And Gassie's really lucky there that he never gets caught for pulling him back. That's a very good play, and I'm sure that's what they'll want to see even more.
Fans, you can follow the Charleston Battery and the rest of the USL Championship all season long on ESPN+, home to the USL, MLS, UFC and many more. Join over 2 million sports fans who have already discovered ESPN+ and watch the Championship live every week. Sign up today at espnplus.com. Traffic in the middle. Could this be an opportunity for the breakaway? Van Schaik is there. And just really showing his experience. Brilliant defending at the back from the veteran.
Yeah, no, that's great defending. And as I said, he knows he's going to get beat for pace, but what he does is he screens him off, uses his body extremely well, and goes to his stronger side. Look at it, look, you can see there, it's a real tussle, but he's doing it there, and he's just clipped at the back. But fantastic defending by Jared Van Schaik.
The fans out enjoying the match despite the dreary weather here. It's been a very long season of unfortunate weather from start to finish.
I think it was appropriate that the last game got moved forward 5 hours just to get it in, based on the 5 games that we've had, an hour for every game that's been interrupted this season. So.
Head coach Mike Anhauser said he's never seen anything like it. He's 26 years here. Brilliant ball over from Zico Lewis. Just a fraction off. It's just that vision you talk about with Zico Lewis, Derek.
No, he sees passes other people don't see, and you know, to be fair, Boshua's not starting to get on the end of them now. He's the beneficiary of it. But the whole battery staff, I mean, we should give them a shout out, because they've coped with all these chops and changes, you know, from, you know, Wade Crutchfield to Mike Keller, all his team, they do so well just to keep the games on going and keep all the staff entertained and focused on their job.
Absolutely right. It's been a wild season, to say the least.
Chambers again with a really intelligent pass in. Look.
Feimu. Just 19 years old. Way through the back. To Zandi. Patience from the visitors. Commentator's curse. Just a couple of loose touches in the past couple of minutes. Kelly finds Rittmeyer in space. Rittmeyer assessing his options, wants to loft it long.
And they're forcing it a little bit there, aren't they? As I said, the last 10 minutes, Philadelphia's come into the game a bit more, haven't they? And Battery's got a bit sloppy. Started with Patterson and then Nico Rittmeyer there. They've got to be a lot more assured in their passing. This young team now starting to get a little bit of confidence. They're knocking the ball around really well. They, you know, they've had good spells of possession. They've had their first real chance a minute ago. Chambers has definitely got them ticking.
For the flick through. Guerra. Makes a drop deep in the midfield. As he just pulled to the ground there.
A loose one as well there by Higashi. So just a little bit more composure.
Ball from Mueller, nicely brought down by Boschua. Again, right idea. And you can see Otula Guerra just trying to just coming back into the squad. It's not easy when you've been out for a number of weeks.
He's one of them players that if he does get frustrated, you've got to be careful. You've got to watch him because he does. He starts to go into places where he shouldn't do. He starts to moan and groan. And yeah, you know, the more upbeat he stays, the better it is for the battery. He wants to do so well for the team. That's what it is. He's in, you know, his enthusiasm to do well. He wants to play, and he's a good footballer. He wants to get the ball down and play. He doesn't want to be chased all day.
Guerra in his 4th season with the battery. In his 8th start here today.
Struggled a little bit today, isn't he? Defensively wise, even with his passing. He's a young lad, and as I said, he hasn't quite come to grips with the game as yet.
The battery just happy to sit in at the minute, absorb some pressure. Chambers. Ariel. Dink, ball forward into the attack. Bourgelin is there. Another one, this time direct. No worries at the back for Joe Kuzminski. Not really been tested at all in this first half, Joe Kuzminski.
No, but it's one of them games he's going to have to stay focused because he may have to pull out a save at some point. And that's the danger, you know. Good goalkeepers, they don't always make the most saves. They just make the saves when they're called upon, and that's what he may well have to do today. Just keep his focus, keep his team. And if he can actually organise his defence so he doesn't have to make the save, he'll be very happy with that.
Guerra takes a touch to the midfield. Lewis out wide, just runs away from him. Lucky.
Again, but he sees it, doesn't he, Zico? You know, he doesn't always execute perfectly. I think the surface has something to do with that one now.
Well, we mentioned it's been a tough season for Bethlehem Steel. They've had sparks where they've been absolutely brilliant. Got some results against top teams in the East, drew against Pittsburgh Riverhounds earlier on this season, actually beat the battery 3-1 at Talon Energy Stadium in April. Really just conceded far too many goals, conceded 73 on the season so far, having only scored 48. Just loose at the back, which is what we've seen in this first half so far.
Yeah, again, it's playing young players. They're going to make mistakes, and as I said, I'm sure that they would like to score more goals, but yeah, their issue is conceding them, but that's part of the learning curve that they know they're dealing with it. I'm sure Brendan and Hoagie would love to do a defending session every day with the team they got, but that's not what their job is. Their job is to have fully rounded people. There's another loose one here.
Boschua picks the feet, takes a touch back at Otula Guerra in space, just broken down. See their disappointing one, almost set up on a platter, but a great step again from Boschua.
Yeah, and I think he pulled up a little bit there, and I think the conditions there didn't help him. Didn't really run away from it. Great step there by Taylor Mueller.
been active down this flank so far. This time it will be yellow for Nathan Harriel. A couple of yellows so far. Have another look at this, Derek.
Yeah, no, he's got the ground way too early, isn't he? You know, he'll learn from that. It's not a bad place to give a foul around the halfway line, but that's just poor decision making. He's gone to the ground too early and just caught the player.
Van Schaik just giving Hazo a little nudge to get out his way. Just over 5 minutes left to go here from Charleston, South Carolina in the first half. It's Poppy Miller alongside Derek Brawley. Thank you for joining us for this afternoon's match, wherever you are.
I don't know if they can see it on the screen, but the rain's just starting to come up again, and it's going to definitely impact the game as it goes on.
Big ball over the top box, sure to press. Fancy footwork. Always looking to play it out the back. Bethlehem Steel. Caso takes a tumble.
Take the tumble there, didn't he? And that's at this level, you know, he just a couple of minutes ago, he just took Kashi down, and he's just tackled him there with a little bit of payback, I think.
Ariel into the box, no worries for Kuzminski. Kuzminski coming in off that clean sheet performance midweek against Memphis 901.
If we can replicate that, the battery will go into the playoffs.
It's been a good first half from the battery. If you're Mike Anhauser, you've got to be pleased heading into the locker room.
If there's one disappointment, you'd like another goal. I think, as I said, as long as the game's always 1-0, you've always got that doubt in the back of your mind. I think if they can get a second goal, they'd be a lot more confident and competent.
Sure, there's the pressure yet again. Ofemu just caught way too many times.
He's not having a great afternoon, that young man, is he? He's struggling a little bit, and the battery just needs to make sure that they capitalise on one of those mistakes and then just put this game out of doubt.
Still, he'll take his time to come out the back.
I've got to say, the fact he still wants the ball and still trying to play, it shows that his confidence is up there.
Chambers picks it up again, knocks it on. Lena, good battle with Van Schaik. That's been all afternoon so far.
But we just need to take the sting out of the game a little bit here.
Of course, a win this afternoon will put the battery in the postseason, the only team to make it to the playoffs every year that they've been a club, to carry on that record.
And that is a great record to have, you know, to be, you know, every year to know that you're going to get to the playoffs is good, and you know they've managed to win it on a few occasions as well, so that's good.
Head coach Mike Anhauser being the consistent there, celebrated his 25th anniversary at the club last season. Patterson with the press.
Again, Chambers does a great job there. He's always available. He very rarely gives the ball. I'd love to see what his passing percentage is like. It's fantastic.
Mainstay in the middle. Made his 100th appearance for Bethlehem Steel just earlier this season. It's just what you were talking about, Derek. Just trying to keep these tensions from rising.
The referee's done a good job there. Again, it's, you know, it's a little shove in the back there, and it's definitely a foul. The referee's given it. Don't really need all the afters. I'm sure the referee will just call him over, tell him to calm down, shake hands, and let's get on with the game.
See the battery fans in the background, drums and lungs ready. night, the last match at MUSC Health Stadium. The close of one chapter, but at the exciting start of a new one. Galina assesses his options. Numbers aren't in his favour. Here come the black and yellow. Flo Kelly, talked about him midweek, just a real unsung hero of this side, another one that's played in numerous different positions all over the pitch.
He has, and he's done very well, and that's good link-up play there again.
Nelson drops it back to the top of the box, can't quite connect. That'll be a free kick for the visitors.
And they've just got a little bit sloppy, haven't they, the battery there. It was great play by Kelly. He's linked up the game, got Nelson in, and then Nelson, instead of driving for the line and getting across it, he's decided to cut back inside, took all the momentum out of the attack and caused his team a problem.
Referee having a look at his watch. We'll see the confirmation of the added on time. Just 1 minute added on here in the first half.
1 minute of stoppage time. 1 minute.
I think it was only that little injury to Angelo Kelly that probably led to that.
Big Ashy been busy on the ball in the first half.
That one, his final ball's not been there, and you know, when he's on song, he's a very, very good link-up player, but he's just been a little bit guilty of delaying his pass sometimes, not getting quick enough. And although the battery will be happy with the result and the performance, they really would like another goal cushion that would really seal this game, and then they can start to play with a little bit more composure.
You mentioned so much on the line here tonight. Postseason hanging in the balance. And difficult as well for the battery. They're the first team to play as well of the day, so they know they've got to get the result. They can't keep their eye on other results happening around the league. Both those games kicking off later today, 5 p.m. and 7:30. And that will be all we see from the first half here at MUSC Health Stadium. The battery headed to the locker room, 1-0 up at the half. It was Arthur Bosch with the difference. Stay with us at halftime. We'll take a look at the playoff picture and a look around the league. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a mo.
down the Barrow Road.
Welcome back to MUSC Health Stadium Decision Day. It is indeed a very dreary afternoon here in Charleston, South Carolina. It's Poppy Miller alongside Derek Brawley. Well, Derek, we know this is a massive match. Let's take a look at how the Eastern Conference stands as of right now. We know St. Louis play later on today, and Birmingham Legion have that all-important game against the Riverhounds tomorrow. But very tight at the top of the Eastern Conference, as well as 9 and 10.
No, I think that, you know, Nashville, Pittsburgh, that's going to go to the wire, isn't it? You know, Indy's already finished out their season, but it's the bottom end that we're really focused on, aren't we? And if, you know, the Battery can get that vital win, that will secure them that place. They'll either come 9th or 10th, depending, and they don't have to worry about the game tomorrow with Birmingham Legion. And
of course, just the one team that remains behind that, St. Louis, sitting in 11th, just 1 point behind those two teams as well, all to play for the final 2 spots. Well, now normally we take a look at the player highlights, the player spotlight, sorry. Something a little different this week that our staff don't know about. We want to give a special mention to such a big part of our broadcast team here at the Battery, Grayson Halliday and Matthew Peacock, who are just absolutely instrumental in all that we do.
No, I don't think people realise the amount of work that they do behind the scenes. You know, they're responsible for the graphics and everything else like that. So, no, they're a pleasure to work with, and they thoroughly deserve their 15 seconds of fame.
And they're creating some phenomenal content throughout the week as well. Absolute pleasure to work with Grayson and Matt. We thank you for all that you do. And of course to you as well, Derek. It's been a fantastic season, and we hope that it doesn't end here tonight. Things are looking good for the Battery. 1-0 up at halftime. Stay with us when we come back. We'll take a look around the league and a look at that playoff picture once again. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Over, Gomez there, Gomez on the Bermudez puts it home, and Greenville scores. Pepe going for goal! He's given North Texas the moment.
What this club is trying to do is offer a real sense of community.
But it's all about the process. Make sure you're doing the little things right.
We have a really strong locker room, and everybody really wants to do well for the club.
Good afternoon, faithful. This is a big day. This is a big deal for us. This is a win for the community.
You know, we've been averaging, you know, between, I would say, 10 and 12,000 a game.
And it is a loud, boisterous 10,000, 12,000, and they love us, and we love them just as much. I mean, it's a reciprocal relationship at all times.
Or we never thought that we would grow this fast.
I have to pinch myself because, you know, it sometimes seems too good to be true, but it's not. It's been pretty unbelievable, and, you know, it's been done better than I ever could have dreamt of, to be honest.
This is a club for New Mexico, by New Mexicans.
And I don't think that we're done yet. It's just getting started.
My name is Mike Bitus. Everybody calls me Mikey, and I'm the current president of the regiment.
My name is Jeff Hewick. Been a Battery fan since 1993. I'm the treasurer of the regiment.
Drew Bartow. I joined the regiment, I think this is 3 going on 4 years now.
Well, the mission of the Battery, as I see it, it's not just match day. The Battery very much seems like a family to me.
It's why I love this team. right? Their players were fans, but at the end of the day, when they come along the board and they shake everyone's hand, and we're all on a first-name basis. So that means a lot. It's a family, right? We're all one big family. And I've gone to MLS games, and it's not like that. I mean, they're fans, and then there's the team, and everything's separate, right? There's no intermingling with the players and stuff like that, and it's like something that I truly cherish.
I think probably one of my favorite regiment experiences is not something specific. It's just seeing some of the people I have been in the regiment with for the last 19 years, watching their kids grow up and become fans.
The Battery to me is synonymous with family. Sure, there have been some changes, you know, from Stony Field to here, the owners and presidents coming in and coming out, but they've all embraced the exact same theory.
Family, I need the Battery, I need game nights on Saturday like I need oxygen to breathe. So being able to yell and scream in E1, being able to set off the smoke, being able to bang on the drums, being able to heckle opposing teams and officials, I mean, it doesn't get much better than that.
The Battery is more than just a club, it's a family, and we take care of each other on and off the field, and I feel like, you know, that's what the regiment logo is all about, is supporting the Battery on and off the field.
Welcome back to MUSC Health Stadium for this afternoon's match. Bethlehem Steel are the visitors taking on the Charleston Battery. The Battery lead 1-0 at halftime. Let's take a look around the league presented by Home Telecom. Well, Derek, the end of every season brings up the best of the best, the player awards. And this year's MVP very well deservingly goes to Jared Van Schaik.
20 seconds, fans. Throw those versus 20 seconds.
Now, when he's played at the back, he's been solid, and I think it's a thoroughly deserved award.
Fantastic left foot, as you can see there. Instrumental in the attack and on the back line. Kyle Nelson wins Newcomer of the Year. Taylor Mueller, Defender of the Year. Zico Lewis, Offensive Player of the Year. And Nico Rittmeyer with the Community Award. Well, let's take a look now at the playoff picture. As it stands, if the Battery can get the result today, then they will hit the road to take on either North Carolina FC or Ottawa Fury. And I think another Carolina derby is exactly what the Battery fans would want.
Yeah, I think, you know, the travel distance to Ottawa is definitely going to have an impact on a midweek game. You know, that trip to North Carolina doesn't seem as far. They've had good results against Carolina. They won the Carolina Cup, the Battery, so they'll certainly fancy their chances there. And you know, a good few crowd can go and watch that game. So I'm sure that will be the one they would prefer. But listen, at this stage of the game, they'll be happy to get to the playoffs, and any one of these teams, they'll be happy to play. They know they're on the road, and they'll adapt and conform properly.
And it's all, of course, depending on this afternoon's result. The next 45 is to come. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back to MUSC Health Stadium. It's Poppy Miller alongside Derek Brawley. We are just about set to go for the second half. Just one change to note. Borgelin makes his way out, and in comes Ferris, the man that we highlighted in the intro, Derek. A big attacking threat for this Bethlehem Steel side.
No, very much so, yeah. You know, we highlighted him in the game. You know, he's a big, powerful striker, and he'll want to really put his stamp on the game. And it's amazing, all your season comes down to this next 45 minutes for the Battery. If they can hold on and keep a clean sheet, they're through to the playoffs, and that's what everyone wants to do at the start of every season, every team. The first thing you're looking for is, can you secure a playoff spot? Because if you don't get one, you can't win the championship. So all that hard work comes down to this next 45 minutes, and here's Ferris on the ball straight away.
Plays one out wide. This could be an opportunity. Mueller to the rescue at the back.
And the Battery have struggled coming out of the locker room for the last couple of games. I'm sure it's something they're working on, but again, they haven't really started that well. And you know, they'll want to make sure that they can hold this league and settle into this second half.
Turner knocks it all the way back to Chambers. Visitors coming out with a spring in their step. Boschua with the step. It to feet with the recycle. Atula Guerra still the man up top for Mike Anhauser.
Again, another little loose pass there. Look, giving possession straight back to Bethlehem still. And as I said, look, the longer this game goes on and it's 1-0, you know, you're almost inviting Bethlehem back into the game. The Battery have really got to use their experience, get on the front foot, and really start to take it to this young team.
Of course, Brendan Burke saying earlier this week that they want to play spoiler here this afternoon. You can see him putting on their biggest attacking threat, their leading goal scorer with 10 goals on the season so far, making his 25th appearance for Bethlehem Steel. A real big presence in the attack.
No, that's his, and he is a threat, and as I said, the Battery are going to have to be on their guard here today to make sure that they overcome that threat.
Femu. Well, if you're Mike Anhauser, we mentioned, of course, heading into the locker room, 1-0 up at the half, got to be pretty pleased, but what do you think his message was to the team?
I think what it is, you know, boys, this is not done yet. I think, you know, we've got to pick it up. We've got to, you know, we need a second goal and possibly a third just to really, you know, really dampen the spirits of this young team. You know, he'll know the threat that comes with this, that, you know, if it stays 1-0, because although a draw could keep them in that playoff spot.
Galina into the mix. Nelson first to the races. There's the follow-up from Chambers.
As I said, the draw could do it. Even a defeat could get them through. But you know, what they do know is that a win gets them in. So that's totally what they need to focus on. And there's no reason why that can't happen.
The simplest of scenarios, of course. 3 points is all it takes here this afternoon. Nelson. It's a deflection. Head coach Mike Anhauser just down there below. Like we mentioned, celebrated his 25th anniversary at the club last season. Over 200 career wins. Joined as a player in 1994. Played 6 seasons in the midfield and then transitioned into that coaching role in 1999. Has won 2 USL Championship titles. Led the team to an Open Cup final in 2008 and still the only second non-MLS coach to do so. To think of the Charleston Battery without Mike Anhauser. Here's Mueller out wide for Higashi. Atula Guerra in the box, couldn't turn on it. Higashi dinks one in, Boschua was there. And a brilliant save from Fries at the back to get it away.
That's better, and Taylor Mueller's shown his real captaincy role there, stepping up, isn't he, and saying, you know, like, listen, boys, this is what we've got to do. You know, he's had a big influence this week, and he's scored the goal now, and then even there, just spurring them on, and he'll be one that really will want to take away this, definitely this poor start to a second half.
So just one change so far for Brendan Burke. Out went Borgelin, who celebrates his 25th birthday today. In comes Ferris. No changes as of yet for Mike Anhauser. Dangerous one. Nelson straight back to safety. Kuzminski.
Cool play by Kuzminski there, finding Nelson.
Joshua gets a flick on it.
He's one tenacious player, isn't he, Boshua? He's always in there fighting, you know, things hit his head, hit his back, you know, any luck he gets, he earns it. He's so different to Guerra, who is a real cultured footballer.
Like a nasty one for Higashi in the middle. Went down, holding the knee there.
I think it's his calf there. We'll get to see this again. I think as he spins away, I think he gets a knee to the calf, and that's a real sore one if you've played. Look, you'll see it now. Look, it's just, you see it's right into the top of that calf there. It's a sore one.
Bobby Weisenberger of MUSC Health down below us, taking brilliant care of the players. Not needed on that occasion. Higashi looks to be up and okay. The fans still out enjoying this afternoon's match despite the weather.
For us from across the pond, this is great weather.
This is classic footballing weather.
Soccer weather for players, not for fans. That's why we have covered stands in the UK.
Angelo Kelly just getting caught. Dangerous ball across the box. You can see players slipping and sliding all over the park. Cortez. Zaveris leads one on. Kuzminski's off his line. It's dangerous in the box, and fantastic defending there from Patterson.
That really was great defending by Patterson. That should have been 1-1, and then that would have caused the Battery a real problem. I said they haven't really started particularly well this second half, and you know, you have to give credit to this young Bethlehem still team. They've come out and definitely had a go. I don't know what Brendan said to them at half time, but maybe they can see a little chance of glory here as well, and you know, individually if they pick up their performances, they can get a result here today.
Zach Zandy looking for some greenery all the way over the top of Higashi, but it'll go in favour of the visitors.
Doing good play there. And it's not been convincing at all, is it? You know, we're 7 minutes in. Look, there's this little 1-2, this little give and go. Look, Nelson fell asleep, and this is it. This is an unbelievable tackle here by Patterson, who comes flying in and just stops that shot from going on target.
Now it's Chambers over the dead ball. The Battery with every single player back in to help defend. This could be dangerous. Chambers 5 goals, 3 assists on the season so far.
And they've got an overload here on the back post here.
Chambers fancies a chance. Nothing to worry the Battery at all with that.
That is a waste. And that's a waste from Chambers. Some of his experience, he should be doing a lot better than that.
Just shaving a few seconds off the clock. The referee gives him the green light. JJ Belinsky in the middle for this afternoon's match. Guerra, brilliant ball, couldn't quite thread the needle through.
We had a great view of that, didn't he? He was just trying to slide him in. It was a great pass, and it just didn't quite work out for him. But again, that shows you what he's all about. I think what would just settle everyone down from this home crowd that's, you know, that's still coming through the gates now with this, you know, wanting to see this victory and see them move on to this playoff spot. If they could just get that second goal, I think that would give them that little bit of cushion that they need.
One, Mueller's there. Just generated opportunities in the late going.
Yeah, that's a threat, isn't it? I mean, as I said, the Battery can't afford to take their foot off the gas here right now. So they really do need to push for that second goal and just make it nice and clear.
outnumbered in the midfield. Kelly.
Another loose one by Higashi.
It's very back and forth. No team had any real possession. Here's Galina. Around the box it goes to the byline. Ground ball in. The sliding challenge was there. Luckily for the Battery, no contact made.
As I said, it's too open right now. It really is. You know, the Battery have got something to hold on to with this 1-0 lead, and they really do need to.
Look at that. Looked like Rittmeyer just took one to the face there.
Again, I think is that both players were falling.
Nico Rittmeyer, the College of Charleston product, Savannah native, a local boy here after attending the college, as did Leland Archer. The mainstays on the back line this season, out and available for selection tonight with an injury. The real fan favourite around here, Nico Rittmeyer.
I think, you know, Leland, if we could get back in, you know, they can get to the playoffs, they can get him back, you know, that's a major plus to the team. This is the man they need to get on the ball here, Zico Lewis. He's the one that can, you know, create things that are open doors for forwards and stuff. And he's been very quiet, almost non-existent in the second half, which is unusual for him.
Nelson pumped away in the box. Maybe a chance for a counter-attack. Looping ball over Van Schaik, deals nicely. Slipping and sliding yet again in the middle. Ferris, top of the box, one-on-one with Mueller. Ferris gets the strike away.
It's good solid defending by Taylor Mueller, but again, I'm sure Mike Anaz, yeah, he's brought him out of his box there. This is not good enough. He needs more from his team. They're giving away the ball sloppily. And then when they're chasing, so look at this, this is good defending by Taylor Mueller. He shows him onto his weaker left foot and forces him away from goal. The referee's going to give a card there. Yeah, here he is. I think this is not for this particular foul. I think this is for a persistent fouling, and he just caught him. And again, I'm not so sure that that's going to make an impact in this game. Really, the referee's done very well, isn't he? Just to keep, I think he's given out a few cards really, and he's got every one of them right.
JJ Belinsky, assisted by Nicholas Seymour and Howard Ash. Fourth official down there, James Volusia. Mueller on a dime for Boschua. There's too many white jerseys surround him.
I'd like to see a little bit more creativity from those sort of free kicks there. You know, can we try and feed it into Nico Rittmeyer? Can we get Nelson involved? Just smashing the ball down the middle and hoping for the best. I think the Battery have a little bit more than that. I'm sure the field's getting heavier and heavier by the minute. That's much better play by Zico Lewis, just spreading it wide for Nelson.
To the top, Lewis with a bit of space, dinks one across the box. Higashi trekking across to it. Lewis! James Chambers steps in its way.
Lewis was just trying to guide that ball into the bottom corner. Again, good play by Guerra when it just securing the ball up, setting it back, and then seeing Lewis just trying to bend it in, but a good block there by one of the defenders.
And up comes a corner kick for the Charleston Battery. Zico Lewis trotting across to take it some height, making its way up to the box.
Yeah. Here's this little lady. You see he's just trying to feed it into that bottom corner where he can. I think we're going to see a couple of subs in a minute from this Bethlehem Steel team. I think they're going to try and continue to go for their result.
Lewis, an outswinger to the top of the box. It's Patterson. One from the training ground, takes the deflection. Edge of your seat stuff. Kelly finds some greenery in front of him. Looking for Lewis. It's got to be Zico Lewis. And a brilliant save that from Matt Fries.
That had to be a goal there. I think, again, he's too sure of himself, Zico Lewis. If there's one part of his game he's got to do better, those kind of finishing He should have just put his foot through that ball there and smashed it into the goal. I'm sure we'll get a chance here again. Great play by Angelo Kelly, driving forward. It's a perfect pass as well. And Zico Lewis is just trying to be too sure there. He just needs to put his foot through that and smash it.
Busy in the attack and for the back line this afternoon. Joshua battling to get through two defenders. He manages to find a black and yellow shirt.
The most convincing shot there by Nico Rittmeyer either. He done well. He tried to wriggle through and get his shot away, which he did.
Safety in numbers from the visitors. Mentioned it, Derek, maybe getting ready to see a couple more substitutions. If you are Brendan Burke, what do you think is going through his mind right now?
Now again, he's got that development head on, and he's, you know, he's thinking, can I get another couple of players in, give them some more minutes and experience this, you know, tense game, if you like. And as I said, you know, like all coaches during a game, I think he has license to try and win the game. So, you know, he'll have that. He'll be thinking of, you know, what he can bring. You know, Ferris was a good positive impact in the game.
Bobbling ball, played out the box. Ellie and Ferris one-on-one. See Chambers really looking to lift the tempo of the play there.
I've been very impressed with him. He's really orchestrated these young players and helped them play, and he's enabling them to play. He's leading them. He hasn't stopped talking. He hasn't stopped running. He doesn't run all over the park. He just stays centrally and helps them to link the game up.
Ferris takes a strike, patted away by Kuzminski.
It's a good effort again. Another warning sign.
It's dangerous. The visitors work it into the box, ground ball. Ferris once again takes a strike. And Zico Lewis pumps one clear to safety.
And again, they're all at 6s and 7s right now, the battery. This young team now starting to really put a thumbprint on the game.
Bit of breathing room for Kyle Nelson. Joshua inviting Atula Guerra, goes sliding. JJ Belinsky waving play on.
He got that one right as well. That was a good tackle. Here's Chambers again on the ball. Everything they do that's positive, Chambers is involved in. We might get to that stage where Mike Anhauser might start thinking about maybe an Hugh Daly in these conditions, just to see if we can get that, you know, extra goal that will give them that little bit more security in this game.
Well, you talk about the young rising stars of this team. Mike Anhauser has his own weapon on the bench. You're absolutely right. The Jamaican Youth International, Hugh Daly, just turns in defenders inside out. Like you said, would be very tricky conditions to deal with him on a day like today.
I think he'll get his 20 or 30 minutes, I'm sure, today, just to show him what he can do.
He made just his 4th start of the season midweek in the win against Memphis 901. Prior to that, it's been a bit of a super sub so far this season. Nico Rittmeyer down. Another painful one. Always a hold your breath moment on surfaces like these as well.
Players get a little bit more scope to fly, and then I think he's just caught him on his knee. Let's have a look. See it nice and slow. Comes in, he beats him with skill. And yeah, it's just one of them sore ones, like a dead leg. So
Brendan Burke is getting ready to make that substitution. Willis, the Jamaican native from Kingston, getting ready to make his way onto the pitch. 27 appearances on the season so far, 3 goals and 1 assist. Someone that can bring a bit of experience to this side and also a nose for goal.
No, for sure. And again, that's something that the Battery are going to have to certainly, you know, keep there. This is that chance again, isn't it? With that good save by Kuzminski. He puts it into a really good area, doesn't he, Joe Kuzminski? Puts it well out of danger. So, and that was Ferrers that come on and hit that. So that's a sort of, I think he's hurt his knee and his head. I think the head one is just where he fell.
Let's take a look at some highlights while we have a second. A couple of opportunities so far in this match.
Yeah, this is Patterson's one, which brought out a save. That was really, really early on, wasn't it? That done that. This is the goal here, isn't it? Into Guerra. And Boschua with a really nice, tidy finish. That's the goal that separates the two teams as we speak. And I think we're just about to get underway now. Hopefully Nico Rittmeyer's okay. He's staying off for a minute, so I'm sure the back will be looking to get a substitute ready to come on.
Captain Taylor Mueller in his 8th season with the Battery, over 200 games played for the black and yellow. Dangerous one into the box, no one there for the challenge.
I'm sure they'll want to get Nico Rittmeyer on as quickly as they possibly can.
Dispossessed. Tula Guerra now at the top. Takes a couple of touches. Leads Higashi, and it's Kotaro Higashi. Ground ball, and Arthur Boschua makes it too. What a week it has been for Arthur Boschua.
No, that's great, and that's exactly what the doctor ordered there for the Battery. That might be the one that solidifies their playoff spot. Couldn't have come to a nicer guy with Boschua, but it's the first time I think Higashi's run in beyond Guerra. Great little assist here by Guerra. You'll see that nice little pass through. Great little pick up. And he won't get an easier goal than that, Boschua, and that's exactly what the Battery needed now. And hopefully now they can just play out the rest of this game, keep a clean sheet, and go into the playoffs in a really positive frame of mind.
Boschua, his 6th goal of the season, couldn't have come at a more crucial time. 2 of them being in this match, one of them being last weekend against Loudoun United, and now the Battery with a nice bit of cushion.
And they got that with 10 men because Nico Rittmeyer's off now. They're going to swap him for Romario. He's got a head injury there, Nico Rittmeyer, so Romario will come on. That'll be a straight swap as soon as they get time and a break in the play. So they actually got their goal with playing with 10 men.
Romario Piggott, real energizer in the midfield. Rittmeyer getting ready to make his way back on to maybe come off. Meanwhile, the Battery just managing to deal with it at the top.
And Houses, yeah, he's having a real. But basically, they've got Nico Rittmeyer off. They're trying to make a substitution. They won't let Nico go on. They won't let Romario go on. And finally, after about 3 minutes, he'll get his substitution.
So there is the substitution. Romario Piggott makes his way onto the game, having a stellar season so far with the black and yellow.
Yeah. And that's just a straight swap there tactically, so no need for a formation change there.
Romario Piggott, no stranger to setting up his teammates and notching a few. 3 goals, 3 assists in this 2019 campaign.
They'll just want to make sure now that they, next 5 minutes, keep it nice and solid.
20 minutes left to play here in Charleston, South Carolina. It's Poppy Miller alongside Derek Broadley. Thank you for joining us for the game wherever you are.
Referee's seen something there and given a corner. Now if you're the Battery, you've got your noses in front, you've got that little bit of a cushion. What you won't want to do now is concede a goal here in the next 5 or 10 minutes and then make the last 10 minutes a real frantic affair. You've done all your hard work, and hopefully the experience of many of these players can just get them over the line now, and then they can start to think about whether they're going to Canada or they're going to North Carolina.
Of course, a couple of matches like we mentioned earlier still to play in the Eastern Conference to solidify the playoff picture. St. Louis playing tonight, Birmingham Legion playing tomorrow against the top of the table, the Riverhounds. Here's an opportunity, just couldn't quite connect in the box.
Referee's just pulled one out there. He's seen something earlier on. I think we were all following the ball there, but he's saying that Higashi there has been the one that's made the foul. And I don't know if we'll get to see that again, but I think that the cameras, like all of us, were watching the ball. I think there was an offside, and the referee's given them a free kick in what is a very, very dangerous position.
Chambers over the dead ball. See that? Real good setup. Willis stands alongside him, but it's going to be Chambers. Dinks one towards the back, just overcooked.
Again, Chambers is at the, everything that they do that's positive, he does very, very well. Here's the free kick here. We just see it, I think, yeah. Just see it there. Higashi just catches him as he runs past. The referee deemed that a free kick. Boshua just takes a real sore one to the face there again, and he'll be wanting to stay on. He don't mind. He'll take a few. He'll just want to get his hat trick, his first professional hat trick. I'm sure he'd love to get that today. It's all set up for him now. He's got about 20 minutes left to see if he can get that. Took a sore one there to the face.
Quickly taken. Nelson. Higgett. Substitute for Mike Anhauser. Mike Anhauser getting ready to make another change of the match. Vincenzo Candela putting on his jersey down below us.
He'll just come in and shore it up, won't he, for this last. He did it on Wednesday night. He came in, had a great performance for 20 minutes where he just came in and sat in that midfield, organised, got the ball, got them passing and killed the game off.
Lewis through for Boshua. Is this the hat trick that he desperately wants? Atula Guerra now. Maybe one too many touches. Lewis still rolling through, and that's going to be a penalty. A penalty for the Battery. An opportunity to make it 3. Zico Lewis just down though, holding his shin. Let's have another look at this, Derek.
No, he's just nicked it past him there, and the referee's got it right. He's just caught him, yeah, it's definitely a penalty. Guerra's going to have this. There's no sentiment there for Boshua getting his hat-trick. Guerra's come on. He wants it. I'm sure Boshua's half-heartedly wants to take it. But I think here you go with no sentiment. Let's get the 3rd goal. Put the game to bed. I think if there was another one, maybe Boshua would get a chance to take it.
Atula Guerra, a seasoned veteran. 2 goals on the year so far. Can he make it 3?
And he surely will put them into the playoffs now.
It's a massive moment in the match for Atula Guerra. A long run up from the Trinidad and Tobago. It's Atula Guerra, and he makes it 3 and may well have just punched the Charleston Battery's ticket to the postseason. What a moment.
I think that's mission accomplished right there. As I said now, it's a real steady penalty. I'm sure Boshua was gutted. He probably wanted it for his hat-trick. But when you can take penalties like that, there's no mistake, is it? Goalkeeper gets the right way, but he's not getting that high into the goal. And who was first there? Boshua, just in case. So that hopefully now should be that, as you said, ticket punched. Zico Lewis will come out the game now.
Zico Lewis, been an energizer, playmaker, everything you could have wanted in this game. Hopefully he is okay. And on comes Vincenzo Candela. Main job just to shore up that midfield.
Yeah, no, just play it out now. Now the most important thing, and people don't think this, but you have to keep a clean sheet. 3-0 looks better than 4-1, looks better than 3-1. So get your clean sheet, and when other teams see you're not conceding goals, then that puts a little bit of fear into them as well. So Jokers Minsk want to get a clean sheet here. the Battery want to keep doing, and there's never a better player to go in than Candela. He thinks every game, even in practice, he plays to win, so he'll really try and help them out.
Kuzminski looking for his 9th clean sheet of the season. I'd love to go into that playoff run off the back of 2 clean sheets, 1 midweek, like we mentioned, against Memphis. And if they can hold this scoreline, like Mike Hanhauser said a couple of weeks ago, it doesn't matter which door you make your way into the playoffs through, the front door, the back door, or even the ceiling. It's a clean slate once you're in there. Couldn't be more true.
That's what it's all about. Everyone wants to get to the playoff. You know, it doesn't matter if you're first in or last in, as you said, and once it's there, it's the lottery then. It's who's playing well, and you know, everyone will fancy their chances now when you get in, and if you can win 4 games, you end up being the champions.
Of course, for the Battery, we had a look at the opponents that they could possibly take on: North Carolina FC or Ottawa Fury, both of which would be road games. But like you said, a much easier travel to get to North Carolina than to go across the border to Canada. Be great to get some traveling fans as well. Make it a bit of a derby match that they've already had this season so far.
No, I'm sure that would be the preference, not to have to travel too far. It helps your preparation a little bit more. But as I said, I think if you'd have said before the game who they would have taken anyone.
Dangerous ball looping in. Kuzminski off his line, couldn't collect. Chance now to pull it back. Takes 1 too many touches.
Getting crowded out there, Ferris, I think, didn't he? You know, as I said, Kuzminski was a little bit unsure. He'll want to get that clean sheet now.
15 minutes left to go from Charleston, South Carolina at MUSC Health Stadium. It's Poppy Miller alongside Derek Broadley. Thank you for joining us for this season finale. And what a season it has been for the black and yellow. Every season has ebbs and flows, but a lot of outside factors, like we mentioned, has influenced how this season has gone.
Having this dreary Saturday afternoon fixture just about sums up the season. You know, the weather's had a major impact in many of the fixtures, but it hasn't gotten his
Boschua looking for that hat-trick. It's Arthur Boschua. Freese comes up massive to deny.
A real nice thing for Boschua to go into the playoffs, you know, with a hat-trick under his belt. I mean, he'll be happy with his 2 goals, but if he could get that hat-trick and that match ball, he'll be buzzing.
Ferris trying to break a path through. Patterson to bring them out. Candela leads one through. Right idea. You can absolutely tell Boschua with a spring in his step. He wants the number 3. Zandy. Again, Ferris. This time it's Ferris. An absolute rocket inside the box, and the visitors managed to pull one back.
And that's a great strike, and that's exactly what the Battery didn't want at this time. You know, now, as I said, there's a little bit of momentum there now. It's a great strike, the way he spun and hit it with his left foot. He's curled it right into the corner. It's a great finish. A little bit fortunate to come to him, but he's just turned, swiveled, and that's a great hit. And that's not a good sign for the Battery there. Now they're really going to have to just sit down and play this game out, get over the line.
12 minutes left to go. Not much Joe Kuzminski could have done about that one.
That's a great finish. It's a great finish. Sometimes, yeah, as a goalkeeper, you just got to hold your hands up and say that was a good strike. Which that was. Oh, there's another little sloppy one by Patterson.
Well, we mentioned him in the pre-game. Ferris, his 11th goal of the season for the Steel. Did it in style at that. Candela combining with Guerra.
You've just got to kill this game off the bat now. Just keep passing the ball under any pressure. Oh, there we go again. A little sloppy one there from Taylor Mueller. Took his eye off the ball.
To retreat in numbers for the Battery. Carzo puts in. Very physical match. The referee waves play on, gives the advantage. Boschua.
That's good centre forward play again by Boschua, and he's got his goals, but he's also He's in again.
Here he is, Arthur Boschua. He's got Higashi and he's got Guerra with him. It's Higashi to bring it down. He's just escaping him, but he's brought it back to danger. Over the top it goes.
I'm just a little bit guilty of overplaying there. I think the battery, you know, as I said, let's get these chances in. Again, great centre forward play by Boschua earlier on in that play, and then he actually put a really good early ball in, trying to get Higashi in. And Higashi there just waits for Patterson to overlap, and now he's just trying to roll it across. Again, maybe play short here.
Here is the short option, Candela. To the top it goes. Angelo Kelly looking to recycle a dink ball in. It's a dangerous one, the header's there. And it's phenomenal stuff from AJ Patterson, who makes it 4.
That's a great header. And he's always done that. He's got some great goals in the over his time, but that's a great little header. He sees a goalie come out, and that's, instead of just powering it in, he just lifts over. It's a great little dink up by Angelo Kelly. Look, that's a great little header. Look, goalkeeper's got caught in 2 minds there, and Patterson does it, and then that really now should be it. That is mission accomplished, you'd like to think now. And as I said, coach is saying now, just pass your way out now, and let's get this clock wind down.
It's utter brilliance from the boys in black and yellow. 4-1 the score, 10 minutes left to play.
It's been a great game for all those supporters that have got out there, you know, cars and really sort of joined this weather in. And
Angelo Kelly well deservingly with the assist there. Brilliantly beautiful texture ball. Minsky will take any opportunity to shave a few seconds off the clock.
And that's another loose one. And I know the conditions are sore, but you don't want to be...
Ferris. Traffic in the box. Nelson's there, not enough though. To the top it goes, a touch around, there's the strike, and always rising. Took a deflection though. Says JJ Belinsky out, it goes for a corner.
I think he was right there again. Chambers again, really good feet for what he's a senior player. He just moved the ball very quickly, hit it with his left foot. There we go, there's a great little bit of play here that comes to him. Little sidestep, it just hit Angelo Kelly, made it rise.
Good delivery. Ushers looking for safety, can't accomplish. Mueller rolling through the back.
It's a goal kick.
Nicely done for the Battery. The last time these two teams met, it was 3-1 to the visitors at Talon Energy Stadium. This time the Battery have got the better of Bethlehem. Mueller. Not much that comes through aerially. That doesn't have Mueller or Van Schaik on the end of it. Ferris.
Fair play to this young Bethlehem Steel team. You know, they haven't given up, have they? They're trying to keep playing. You know, they must be demoralised inside. It's the last game of the season. They're on the road. Getting beaten 4-1, and they're still trying to play.
Trio in the middle looking to work it round. It's Guerra, he leads on AJ Patterson. AJ Patterson looking to make it number 2. And he does just that. It's 5 for the black and yellow.
That's a great finish again by the left back, isn't it? For him to get 2 goals, he's done fantastic. He's been marauding forward all game. And now there's a race on for that 3rd goal. It's all about Guerra's play to pass, look, right into his path. One little steady step and a great drive into the far corner. That's a great goal.
Well, it's been score galore as of late. The fans ecstatic on the far side, confetti everywhere. Patterson with 2, Boschua with 2, and the Battery with 5. 5 minutes left to play here in Charleston.
The only dampener on the whole game is the goal they've let in. It was a fantastic finish, but I think if they could have got away, but fair play to them now. They, any team that scores 5 goals at home, that's a great performance, especially with the pressure they were under to get the result. So hats off to the Battery and Mike Anhausen.
Really, with a spring in their step. Is there more goals in this match?
In fact, we need another goal. I'm sure Boschuba does, and I'm sure Patterson does, but I think they'll just be happy for that final whistle to blow, as will Bethlehem still now, and they'll just want to get on their bus and go home.
There's been some moments of brilliance in the attack for the Battery. Well worked, everybody getting involved up there.
Guerra 5-1 up, and he's still moaning at the referee and getting stuck into it.
Guerra was the one that slotted home the penalty if you're just joining us. And here's a substitution. Dante Marini gets ready to make his way onto the match. Out comes Arthur Boschuba. 2 goals on the night. A pretty brilliant performance from the striker.
No, he's been fantastic, and all week he's been well. He's done well. He played well on last Saturday when he got his goal. He played really well on Wednesday. Okay, and he's done another outstanding game today.
Dante Marini making his way into the match. Just 4 minutes left to play of regulation here. And USC Health Stadium is the side. It's Guerra looking for a bit of trickery. Higashi there for backup. Again, Candela to recycle. Patterson has been getting involved all afternoon.
He just needs to shoot. Just get the ball and shoot, AJ.
Ferris flicks one on. Chambers now coming further up the pitch.
Good attitude by Guerra, though, just to chase back at this stage of the game.
Cortez there in the middle, the Costa Rican. Chambers, the only Bethlehem still player to have been with them every year. They've been a franchise. Talked about his leadership all afternoon.
He's been outstanding, I think. Even though his team's been heavily beat today, I still think he's been one of the best players on the field. He's really tried to drive these young kids on. He's kept the game simple. He's linked up the game for them. He's encouraged them to go and play. So no, he's a real credit to the Bethlehem Steel coaching staff that he can do it from the field.
Dante Marini. 3 goals, 3 game-winning goals on the season so far.
They all count now, don't they? Every single point that you've had counts.
A brilliant way to end out the regular season if the scoreline can remain the same. 5 goals on home soil.
And it's because they had the pressure of actually winning the game. And I said once they got that second goal, I think the floodgates opened a little bit. They'll be very disappointed about the goal they've conceded. But as you said, if you can score 5 goals, you'll be very pleased, especially going into the playoffs. Shows you your forwards are on fire, and it'll be very difficult to beat.
It's all about who's hitting stride and good form at the right time. Their Battery looking like they're coming into a brilliant piece of form with these last 2 results. We're hearing there'll be 2 minutes of added on time. It's been a very positive performance from the Battery. Nelson looking for the end line, the negative ball's there. It's Guerra, he'll leave it for Candela. Ratula Guerra wants it. And you can see they're a little upset with each other. You can understand why.
Definitely, I think you'll see here again, Guerra just, as he hasn't hit it there, he's just got to leave it for Vincenzo. He's took it off his foot. And there's Higashi now with a chance.
It's Higashi in the box.
maybe we'll get a chance to name that man of the match for the game. And I know Patterson got 2 goals, and I think he's done very well, but I'm going to give it to Boshua because I do believe that his goals came at a very important time of the game. I think he's worked hard. I think he's worked hard all week. And I think for me, I'm going to give it to Arthur Boshua.
Arthur Boshua, tonight's Heineken man of the match. 2 splendid goals. Patterson with 2 and Atulagera with the penalty. Kick for Matt Fries. 2 minutes of added on time. You can see confirmation of that added to your screen there. And just a case of winding down the clock now for the black and yellow.
No, and you know, now that you're in, it's been a long, hard season and you've achieved your goal. It's fantastic play for everybody. Now it's a case of a couple of days off, regroup, and then let's focus on the playoffs. And it's a totally different mentality when you play that way, isn't it?
Maybe an opportunity for another attack for the visitors. Foul given at the edge of the box. Mueller having a light word with Cortez there.
That shows you his true professionalism there, isn't it? Even though his team's 5-1 up, he's not going to let anyone, doesn't matter how old or young they are, you know, take advantage of him, Taylor Mueller. Great positive sign. Am I right in thinking all the yellow cards get rescinded as you hit the playoffs?
Absolutely right.
So that's not going to come back to haunt them.
Galina.
This is a dangerous set piece, this, and you know, the way Chambers has been playing, he's had a few good efforts. I'm sure he'll fancy it from here.
Galina with the strike. There was danger in front of Kuzminski, and it's not over yet.
It's well defended by the battery.
Took a couple of deflections. Here we go, another opportunity. No pace put behind it for the final product.
You know, they just need to manage the game now. Roll it in the corner. Keep possession. Let the referee.
And that is all we see. The season finale is officially in the books from Charleston, South Carolina and MUSC Health Stadium. It's been a phenomenal season, but Derek, your thoughts on tonight's match before we take a look at the highlights?
No, I think it's been a great game, isn't it? You know, the scoreline says it all. You know, they're firing on all cylinders. You know, 2 players both getting 2 goals, which is good. A penalty kick. As I said, for long parts of the game, it was very tight, but once they got that second goal, the game opened up and the battery really showed their quality against what was a very young Bethlehem Steel team.
6 goals found the back of the net, a lot to unpack. Let's start from the very beginning though. It was Arthur Boshua who broke the deadlock in the early going, and it was a fantastic goal at that.
Yeah, no, it was, and as I said, the chances kept on coming, didn't they? They really did. Again, this is the second one, but he won't get an easier goal, but he worked so hard to get it. You know, I think he thoroughly deserved it. The penalty obviously was a great penalty, and that really solidified the result. This will be the one dampener, but it is a great finish. You know, sometimes as I said, you've got to just acknowledge that. And then Patterson come up with 2 late goals from left back. Here's the first one, really intelligent header. Goalkeeper's probably a little bit too early coming out and getting in. The second one was a great pass from Guerra, and he's just rolled it in and smashed it into the far post. So, you know, 5 good goals. Good way to go into the path. Here's that last goal we're talking about. So it's just a little set up with his left foot and drives it into the far corner. So all being well, move on now. Let's see who they get in the playoffs. We'll know in the next 24 hours, and then they can start preparing for that.
Onwards and upwards, the battery keep their record of being the only team to make it to the postseason every year that they have been a club. No different this year. A new chapter begins right now for the boys in black and yellow. It's going to be an exciting one, but on behalf of Poppy Miller and Derek Broadley, thank you so much for joining us for what's been an absolute phenomenal season. On behalf of the entire broadcast crew, Nick, Will, Andy, Matthew Peacock and Grayson, it's been a phenomenal year. We look forward to seeing you soon. Thanks everyone.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.
top of the box, strikes it true, back of the net. Oh, what a finish, Bustamante.
The attempt at an amazing goal. And maybe a goal of the year candidate from Rodrigo da Costa.
And here we go again. Kadima! Oh, what a strike.
Has been in the 11. And there's an effort from distance.